Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm watching this interview and I'm like, there is some interesting info in here. And I suck at watching videos, or excuse me, making videos without having a bunch of cuts. So I'm gonna try and like watch this with you guys a little bit, because there's already some very interesting info and I haven't finished it yet. So let me try and go back to see if I can show you guys what he said. So Ed Boon is talking about cameos here. Also shout out to Danny Pena. Shout out to him for this interview. Ed Boon is talking about cameo fighters, and he says that some cameo fighters will be exclusive to the story mode, so they won't actually be on the main roster. So there's actually going to be some cameo fighters that we can't even play with outside of the story, which I think is very interesting. I think some people will be bummed out, especially if, like, you know, Onaga is a cameo character, if Shujinko is a cameo character in the story mode or something.
A number of cameo characters in the campaign that are exclusive to the campaign, like and they're not in the main the cameo roster, so to speak, that you choose from. So the story mode introduces cameos. It introduces the concept of them. You really get used to it. There's a bit of a almost like a training element where you get used to how they work. And think about it. We're in June right now. And the game's coming out in September, so there's going to be a very steady stream of new information, new reveals, and a new game mode is coming that we haven't talked about, and there's going to be plenty of. Every time you turn around, you're going to see a new.
With the game coming out in September, there's going to be so much news in a very small amount of time. The new game mode, man, they keep hyping this up. I'm really hoping that it is a conquest mode, of course, just like everyone else. And I did make a short about this, but I do think it is very likely that it is a conquest mode, because Ed Boon has confirmed that the crypt will be gone. So there needs to be another mode for unlocks, which he already said there will be. And I don't think all unlocks are going to be paid. Like, there's no way every single unlock is going to be paid. That's just not how Mortal Kombat games work. Older Mortal Kombat games, we've seen the conquest mode be the main way you can unlock things in the game, whether it be cosmetics or different characters and everything like that, right? The crypt mode is always a staple. So the fact that that's gone, I feel like there needs to be a big replacement. And I really do think that conquest mode could be that. But either way, let's continue.
Basically, this is why we're in Mortal Kombat 1, right? Because of him. So
Exactly.
Is he the only character that's from the old Mortal Kombat? And this one is more of all the new characters, just brand new story. Is he the only one, or there's going to be other ones too? If you're allowed to talk about it.
I'm cautiously answering it. For the most part, yes, he's the one with any kind of knowledge of the last 11 games of events, and he's using that knowledge sometimes. You know, that's part of the fun of this story mode is he's going to see Shang Tsung taking a path, and he goes, "Wait a minute, I know the damage that he's done."
Okay, this is interesting, not only because he says that for the most part, Liu Kang is the one that knows the past, so meaning there's probably more characters that do know the past, or some story plot point where characters start to learn about the past. I think that could be very interesting. But in this case, he's saying that Liu Kang for the most part is, but then he specifically brings up Shang Tsung, which we know is going to be a big part of this game based off the first trailer. So I wonder what that's going to have to do with the main story, and if Shang Tsung is going to have some knowledge from the past.
And it's going to be fun because you, as anybody who's a Mortal Kombat fan and knows the story, is also going to be remembering, oh, that's right, these two teaming up here is going to be something that's going to be, so it's
Okay, that is straight up a Deadly Alliance reference. At least he is like kind of alluding to the Deadly Alliance. Now that might not actually have to do with the main story. That might just be an example that Ed is using here. But that would be very interesting to see in the story, where Shang Tsung actually confronts Quan Chi, and they are going to make an alliance, and then Liu Kang has to do something about it, whether that's kill Shang Tsung, kill Quan Chi prematurely. But then Liu Kang wouldn't be any different than evil Raiden, so that's very interesting. I'm very interested to see where that goes. Again, I do not want an evil Liu Kang, but if that's what they're gonna do, then we'll see.
It's very cool how we have all these nods to the previous games, but for the most part, Liu Kang is the one who has the memories of that, and everybody else has no memories of like Scorpion knows nothing of Shang Tsung. Sub-Zero knows nothing of Shang Tsung. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers. Katana and Melina have a completely different relationship too.
Now, for competitive players.
Okay, so that makes sense. So like characters won't be cautious about Shang Tsung because they won't really understand him. And of course they won't know what he did in the past timelines. But I wonder to what extent they'll take that, because like we know that Shang Tsung has some involvement in the world. Not good involvement, but based off of the character interactions, we know that Shang Tsung is doing something bad. And he seems to be tampering with some characters' lives, but we'll have to see.
19th, I think.
19th.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it. Okay. So I finished the interview. It seems that the number one thing, or I guess several things, is for one, some cameos will be story exclusive. 2, Liu Kang is probably not the only character that knows about the past. And it seems that that's going to be in the story, especially having to do with Shang Tsung. Whether that's Shang Tsung knowing about the past, or Shang Tsung tricking people because they don't know about the past, it does seem that that's going to have to do with the main story. And then also a new game mode, which Ed Boon did not talk about the crypt in this interview, but because of the crypt's absence in this game, I would have to imagine that the new game mode does have to do with unlocks. Even if it isn't a conquest mode, with the way that they're hyping this up to be like a big new game mode, I still have hope for it, even if it isn't going to be a traditional conquest mode. Obviously like new and improved, but with the same like soul and heart as Mortal Kombat Deception. And then of course Armageddon, but Armageddon and Deception were very different. But anyway, this was recorded like off the fly. I'm sorry if it wasn't very good, but I just wanted to keep you guys updated with that new stuff. So make sure you guys stay safe, stay hydrated. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.